Played enough tonight. Should have had a uniform on. On the sidelines. Officials were really helpful. I couldn't get him to stay out of my way, so I told the official to come tell him to stay out of Coach's way. Weird game. Don't know what I'm going to do. Some way, somehow, got to figure out a way to do a better job coaching on the defensive end of the floor. I've always taken great pride that we can do some things there. They really shot the ball well. They played well. And then Kevin gets that kind of concentration and that kind of effort and that kind of focus. They're going to have a nice run. They've been really bothered some of the games that they've lost. They've had some close games and they've had 2 blowouts, but they were really a good team tonight. And we did enough to hang in there, enough to keep a little lead. Down the stretch, we missed a lot of free throws that we haven't done this year, so I think that was good for us, to be honest with you, put ourselves in that position. I think we'll make a bunch of them the next time. They've been averaging 8 threes a game. They make 13 tonight. The problem is playing them for us is we don't take away some of our offensive power on the backboards. I think it was 20-6 points on offensive rebounds, but if you keep Kennedy and Isaiah in there to get those kind of things happen, it also means that they've got to go out and chase and play Young out at the 3-point line, or Artis out at the 3-point line, or Cameron Johnson at the 3-point line. I like the way they took what we were trying to do at the end of the game, use 1 foul that we had left, and then foul so they didn't have a chance to shoot 3. I think you go to the line. I have a great deal of confidence in Kennedy taking the ball out of bounds and getting it in. So I like that part, but again, we need to make those free throws, but that's the first time we've been in that situation this year, and I think it'll help us next time.
What were some of the issues defensively?
Just getting up on the shooter, but I mean, it's Kennedy Meeks is standing out there, and Michael Young's 3 feet behind the 3-point line. Kennedy Meeks is not comfortable, and it's like you guys standing at the free throw line with 21,750 people there. You would not be comfortable. Don't give me any BS. 20% of you make a free throw, but he's not comfortable there, and that's what it was. And then I think Michael made 2 in a row. Maybe Artis made 1 of them. I can't remember, but it was Isaiah and Kennedy both times. So that's uncomfortable for them. But they really did some nice things. They ran the weave about 3 or 4 times and then set a screen on the ball, so it took up a little clock, and it also moved us a lot on our defense. And then they tried to hit. They posted up Artis against Nate 1 time, and they want to jam down and double, because if he does, he throws it back out, and then they got another shooter for 3. But 13 for 29, 45% from them for the 3-point line. It's hard to handle, but we got to do it. We're going to face a little bit of the same thing the next game because Notre Dame shoots so much threes. But some way, somehow, I got to get smarter, or we got to do a better job.
When Joel has a rough game like he did at Miami, how is he most likely to respond? Do you notice kind of an attitude shift in him in the days after that?
He just internalizes it so much. He gets so mad at himself. I walked out today at the pregame, and Coach Robinson said something to him, and he smiled, and I said, "Good God, what's your name?" He said, "Did I hear Coach call you Joel Berry?" Because the guy that showed up on Saturday was not Joel Berry. And I thought we had some alien that climbed up his body, but I think it was Joel at pregame that shoot around today, and we made 3 in the first half, so 5 for 9 from 3-point line. Justin was 3 for 9, and they went boxing 1 on Justin last 2 plays of the first half, and then when they went man, we'd sort of been lulled to sleep against their zone, so we didn't move very effectively. But Isaiah got a big basket inside for us. Justin got a big basket when it got to be a 1-point game when he drove it and laid it up.
Coach, you mentioned defense a little bit. It seems like they were able to get some wide open drives in the first half and close it out, and then they're hitting the shots from the outside. How did that put pressure on your defense there, and what made it difficult?
Well, you said it yourself. If teams making threes and they drive the ball to the basket too, they're kicking your rear ends. What they're doing. But, they got 2 guys. You can look it up. There's only 1 team in the league that's got 2 all-conference players returning, and those 2 guys happen to be the leading scorers in the league. I think that you need to talk to Kevin about how they played, but Michael Young was 7 for 11, and Jamel was 6 for 15. They're really good players. Cameron Johnson, last game against Clemson that I watched, I guess Saturday night or Sunday night, whenever it was, ball didn't go in the basket for them then, but it did today.
How much?
They're a good team. That's the reason you always hear me talk about balance. We've got to have some inside scoring and some outside scoring. It's the most difficult kind of team to guard.
How much of a difference, especially on the defensive end, does Theo make?
Well, you know, it would have helped to have a bigger guy, for example, towards the end of the game on Artis instead of Nate. You know, and so that would have been Theo. And the other thing that Theo does is gets in the middle against his own. You know, and Saturday we didn't have anybody get in the middle that's a playmaker. I said the other night on the show that Theo's 18-2. I think he's actually on the stat sheet says he's 20 assists and 2 turnovers. So he's a playmaker, and it would help to have him in the middle. But you know, I'm hoping we'll get him back. You know, I don't want to put a timetable on. He's got a rolled ankle, and every kid that you saw him walk in and out is out of the boot. They're going to start working him some tomorrow. He's not going to play on Saturday because I think that's too quick a turnaround. Joel Berry's ankle was not nearly as severe a turn. He missed 2 games, so we're not going to have him for a while, but we'd like to get him back.
Making that decision to foul them with 10 seconds left, up by 3, is that something that you would typically do, or is that based around the way that they were shooting the ball mixed with you all having the foul?
You know, it's always judged for debate. You know, but I believe that if you can get it to around 5 seconds, you should foul and make them shoot a 1-and-1. A lot of it's me having so much confidence in Kennedy taking the ball out of bounds too. But we had to foul the waist, and so I wanted it to take a little longer. We'll make them get it in, and I said when they dribble the 10-second line, you know, let's foul. So that's the foul we have to waste. And then we wanted to foul again. I started to call the timeout, but I had a veteran team up there. I didn't call a timeout because Kevin didn't have him. And so I got the word to everybody on our team we were going to foul. And so Justin fouled to put him on the line. And we've talked about it in our practices before, but I think if you can get it 6 or 5, anything below that for sure, I think your chances of winning are drastically higher if you foul and just give them a chance to shoot a 1-and-1 and not tie it up with a 3. And then you got to have confidence getting the ball in bounds, and you got to have confidence that your guys are going to make free throws. And we didn't make as many of them tonight as I wanted to. We missed 1 1-and-1, and then Joel missed the second of a 2-shot. Justin missed the first of a 2-shot. Isaiah missed the first of a 2-shot. Was that it? And so we gave up, you know, 4 or 5 points there.
One more if there is one.
I know it's been 25 years, but when you coach against Kevin or watch his teams, do you see Roy Williams' influence?
Some, yeah, and I'm proud of that, but it goes both ways because when he watches us play, he sees an influence too. You know, he's part of my family. One of the thrills for me was speaking to his son, and I had 3 guys in the car with me. I was in Las Vegas going to some high school basketball games in the middle of July, and talking to him and trying to convince him that North Carolina was the best place for him to be one of our baseball players. And it was a thrill for me to do that. And he had a great experience with Coach Fox and our team, and his daughter Alexa's in school here now as a senior this year. No, he was, I had as good as you can have. I mean, you think of this, I'm going to Kansas, which is pretty doggone good, and I've never been a head coach. But I had Jerry Green, Kevin Stallings, Mark Turgeon, Steve Robinson. That's pretty good. And so they were my security blanket, and I would trust Kevin Stallings with my life, and he trusted me a little bit with telling his son what I thought he ought to do. But it was really easy because I said, if you come here, you get away from your dad.